Hi guys, my name is Holly and I'm an artist. It's been a while since I've done a portrait. I've mostly been painting creatures from my imagination or animals or houses, and I figured it was time that I get some people practice in. So I looked through my photos and I found one of my favorite Gen Zers, my niece Maddie, and I love this picture, her holding a chicken, taken on vacation a couple years ago. I was just drawn to it, so I decided to paint this in my sketchbook. I decided to film the process because it's been a while also since I painted anything with difficulty in gouache. I do crazy colors and just do whatever I want. I work on a whim, and this time I had to be, if I wanted the portrait to look like the actual person, I had to be careful with where I'm placing colors and what colors I use. So I knew it would be a little bit of a struggle, so I wanted to share this with you. Here you just see me putting on layer after layer. I like to build up the layers of gouache. So at this point, I'm just kind of wondering how the heck I'm supposed to make this work. She looks like a mess. She is a very beautiful girl in real life, and look at what I did to her. I'm so sorry, Maddie. I'm going to try to fix this. So at first, when I started painting this portrait, I just put all the layers on. I wasn't really concerned about the colors so much, just maybe getting some, like the hots and cools and the values in some kind of order. But then as I started putting more layers on, I felt like I was getting farther and farther from where I wanted to be. But then I remembered when I used to do a lot more gouache, I would put layer upon layer upon layer, and then in the end I would kind of smooth it all out, and then also put more layers on top of that just to make it look good. So I took a break from the face so I wouldn't overwork it, and went on to something else. I figured having some other reference points in the picture with the value would help me when I went back to the face anyway. Style wise, I wanted to have the face pretty smoothed out, but I wanted to go chunky, color blocky with the shirt, just because I kind of like that. It's like a psychedelic look, I would think, or like a paint by number kind of look. So you'll see different variations in how I'm treating different parts of the painting, just because I wanted to see how it all looked together if I put those certain aspects together. And here's where I went back in and started smoothing out the colors in the face. I used a small paintbrush and I was just doing kind of cross hatching to get it all together. I have to do little sections at a time so that I don't end up pulling color from a wrong area into like a dark area into a place that's really light, and then I have to wait for it to dry and start over again. You have to be careful when you're doing this process of blending the gouache with plain water, clear water, because the gouache actually gets pulled up a lot. It sticks in your brush. So if you're moving from one area to the other, you might inadvertently get the wrong color into the wrong area. So even at this point, after you saw me doing the blend out, I'm still going to be adding layers on top, just refining the colors and values as I go. I kind of skipped the part on the hair. It wasn't, there was too much light reflection, so sorry about that. It was all blotchy anyway. I went in and did detailing on the hair later. And this part, doing the hand, I was just totally not into painting this part of the hand. I gave up at a certain point and then went in back and tried it a little bit more, but it's not the strongest part of the painting. It's also a bit character. I mean, the main thing is, of course, the person in the painting and a little bit of the chicken. You know, we do like chickens. It's funny, when I was editing this footage, I was listening to the sound to see if there's anything that I said that would be of use to leave in the video, and I actually had to mute out almost everything because I was swearing under my breath. I guess I was having a harder time completing this painting than I thought, and it just made me laugh. I guess I really struggled. It's okay. You know what? I feel more comfortable doing my gouache again, and that was the whole point. And we really do have to struggle sometimes to get to a point where we like something. So I'm gonna try more portraits after this, just to get a little bit more practice in, and yeah, see where I'm going from there. I also wanted to share with you that while I was painting this portrait, my cat kept jumping on my lap. She was very lovey. She needed attention and whatnot. So I would take breaks and I would scratch her. And now when I'm going through the footage, I'm seeing that there's cat hair like all over the paper. I remember while I was painting this that I kept stopping and blowing on the paper to get the cat hair off. Cat hair would get stuck in the paint, and then I'd have to wait for it to dry and try to pick it out. But yeah, on the white part, you can go through and see all the cat hair. I tried to keep it off of the paper, but you know, I love my cat. I dropped a bit of water on her face, and now it's lifting the white out of the picture. So we'll see how that turns out. I might leave it. I don't know. So I had let that water drop dry, and it did make a little bit of a line in the gouache, but the colors actually didn't move around too much. You can see the water line over that eyebrow. It didn't bother me enough to worry about it, because when you look at the picture at the end as a whole, you don't even notice the watermark. So I know some people who like to be more of a perfectionist with their paintings, that would really bother them, but it didn't bother me. If it bothers you, sorry about that, but I did leave it. I used Posca pen as like just to highlight her glasses a little bit. The glasses originally were clear, the frames were clear, but for this, there's always a little bit of anxiety when using Posca pen, because once you put it down, you really can't move it around. So the white ended up being a little bit eye-catching, so I went in and I blotted it with a tissue while it was still wet. So you can see that it made kind of like little rings in the white, and I was okay with that look. We kept it. So this is about getting close to the end. I wanted to let you know that I did lose the footage of detailing her hair, and also, there's cat hair in there. I told you there's a lot of cat hair. Yeah, also, as tedious as it was, this video was actually a lot of fun to make, and I think that it turned out pretty well. So thanks for joining me. See you next time.